sell you a lamb for your sacrifice. But the thing is you couldn't use Roman currency in the temple because it had the image of Caesar on it. So it had to be exchanged for currency that was temple approved. So the money exchange people were ripping you off, and then you went into the temple, and suddenly, if you've ever been to a third world country and gone to, like, one of the shops where you just store little tiny shop, there's some noisy and a mess and stuff everywhere, and animals and product. That's what it looks like going into the temple, this place of prayer. This is what it looks like, is there's just animals and birds and stuff everywhere that are being sold. And Jesus walks into this. And he's already done this once at the beginning of his ministry, and at the end of his ministry, once again he walks back in, everyone's back, there's no place for prayer, there's no place for silence, and Jesus gets mad. Don't be afraid of anger, by the way. There are times that anger comes from God. If somebody's crossed a line that's not supposed to be crossed, and Jesus gets ticked and he starts throwing furniture. I mean, imagine if somebody walked in here and went, "This place is an abomination," and started grabbing tables and chucking them across the room. Well, now, in our society, we've dealt enough with terrorists recently that, like, I know the people in my church here, there'd be some guys taking him down. There'd be some tackling going on. That ain't happening. Nobody touches Jesus. There's a fire behind him that no one's going to touch. And he goes face to face, head to head, with the religious establishment of the day, saying, not going to happen. They clear out, and all the messed up people come in. "I'm lame, I'm blind," and Jesus starts healing people. And then there's these kids, and the kids are like, "Yay! The animals are gone. It's not, and Jesus is here." They start singing and praising God, shouting, "Praise God for the Son of David." The leaders start to straggle back into the temple and are offended. Do you hear what these people are saying? These children are saying? And Jesus, I can just imagine him looking at them going, "Really? Like, really? That's what's ticking you off? Is there some kids singing? Do you remember the lambs and the goats and the birds? And you're irritated that there's a few kids singing? Really? Maybe that's not the biggest problem here, people. Maybe there's something bigger." And he says, haven't you read the scriptures? They say you've taught children and infants to give you praise because you guys haven't been doing it. Now, add on is my addition. And that's the end of day one. You know how when you go to bed mad, you wake up madder? You seethe all night? These leaders have been seething all night. They wake up ready for bear. He ain't getting away with that. Well, Jesus gets up in the morning, and I think he's still a little bit perturbed, and he walks up, and he comes up to this fig tree. It looks like it should be in bloom. There should be figs. He's hungry. It's breakfast time. Breakfast to go. He looks at it. It looks like it should be in bloom. He looks at it. There's nothing there. And he says, "May you never bear fruit again." And the fig tree immediately withers up. The disciples are like, "Dude, that was a healthy... That's a twig." Jesus, what? How did it wither so quickly? The fun thing is they ask how. They don't ask what the meaning of it is. They get caught up in like, "Dude, how'd you do that?" He says, "Look, get the power of God. You can do just about anything. You can do this too." Don't ask the meaning of it, and it's an acted out analogy. It's an acted out parable saying, look, my people have been professing a form of godliness for a long time. They've been saying that they're God's people, they've been saying they're God's kids, they've been saying they're all about it, but they aren't delivering the fruit. They have the form, they got the look, they're not delivering the fruit. They're not delivering. And Jesus, I think, is just as ticked when people don't deliver as we are when the pizza doesn't show up. So he walks back into the temple, and he goes head-to-head battle with the power establishment of the day. And we're going to do this quickly, but like I said, read it at home. It's good stuff.